Happy Super Bowl Sunday. I'm wearing red. It's a little extra because I had a jersey t-shirt that I found at the Goodwill a while back, way before the playoffs even, that was Travis Kelce. Oh my gosh, from the Chiefs. And I'm a major Swiftie. Love Taylor. Love football. Love Travis. And I love the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not a bandwagon fan. I'm not just a Super Bowl Kansas City Chiefs fan. I'm a native Texan, raised, but I did live in Missouri for 5 years as a youngster. So, go Chiefs, go Travis, go Taylor. So, hence, I couldn't find my jersey, so this is why I'm wearing this red. Because I usually don't wear red, but it's a little flouncy. But here we go. I am going to do something I haven't done before because I want resellers who do watch my videos, and please subscribe, like, leave comments. I don't have a lot. I don't do a lot of shopping content because, as I've said in prior videos, I do 99% of my sourcing on online auctions, and that's kind of hard to show you. But I do want to tell you that if you're tired of selling items, you know, 10, 15, 20, $30 items, and, you know, you want to step it up. Well, I wanted to step it up because, as I've said again, my baby girl, my princess, oldest of 6 blessings, is getting married a little over a year, and I am going to try to supply some honeymoon funds through my selling because I do this part-time. Daddy, of course, is going to be paying for the majority of the wedding, but you know, they might have to fork over a little bit of cash themselves because they have really good jobs. My daughter and her fiance. Anyway, so hence I am stepping up my store, and I want to actually prove it. And unfortunately, I haven't downloaded the upgraded YouTube app where I can show you all my solds and everything. So this time, until I can get the motivation to actually do that, I'm going to tell you what's sold, because I am telling you this. I wasn't bringing in very much money every month for my eBay store, and I've been doing this almost 2 years. Just to give you an idea, my 90-day total that pops up has been regularly around 2,200 to maybe 3,700, and that is, of course, before shipping, before fees. That is a gross sum. So I was making a couple hundred a month, and of course I would bring that right back into the business, buy stuff. So I wasn't saving anything, nothing. And I was even spending money on my husband's card to source and buy things for my store. So I am going to, my friend is having a market days place at her venue this weekend, and I'm going to take everything out of my store that is under $30 or is been sitting there for almost 2 years and very few views, watchers, etc. So I don't mind having my store cut down and quantity because I want quality, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm just going to share with you all, you can up your store, and you don't have to spend a ton of money at an antique store and buy, you know, 50 paperweights for $3,000. Okay, you don't have to do that because I don't have that kind of, you know, funds available when I'm trying to save for a wedding. So I'm going to show you and tell you, I can't really show you yet, but I apologize, what is sold, because in the last 2 months, I'm talking December, January, up until today, or actually yesterday, because that was when I sold the last item. I'm going to tell you 20 items that have sold. Not just sold, I'm going to start at $40 because everything pretty much under that I'm going to try to purge from my store, or just really give low ball offers because I don't, you know, I'm trying to make a profit here, and I spend an enormous amount of time packing and shipping items because everything, almost everything that I sell is very fragile, valuable, hard to find antiques, breakables, and vintage items. And so positive feedback, but been criticized by my buyers for saying, this is really overpacked, or you use a lot of tape. But a lot of them say this is professionally packed, because I refuse, unless someone in the postal system is drop kicking and playing dodgeball with my box, nothing moves in my boxes, okay? So even if that's done, I want everything to arrive safely and secure, because you can't get these items back. You know, they're antiques and vintage, and a lot of them are very valuable, and I'm getting rid of the ones that are not. So, and that is not to say that I'm better than that, it's just that, I'm trying to save up for the baby girl. Okay, the wedding. So I'm going to go through a list of 20 items, and I started at $40, okay, and all the way up. And I'm going to show you 20 items that have sold since early December up until the current day, or yesterday, because I don't think I've sold anything today. And I'm just going to tell you that my 90-day total, and I do this part-time, I don't have to work, okay? I do this because I love it. And I am very ADHD, and I have done a lot of little jobs, I guess you could say, just to keep my brain working. I've done online sports writing, I'm a published writer, I've done some, I sold Color Street nail strips for, because I wanted the kit, the original kit, but my friend got me into that. There's just a variety of things that I've done, and this is the thing that I've stuck with, because I love it. And I used to sell and buy on eBay when my daughter, who's 25, was a baby. I used to sell her old baby stuff, and so, although I've only been doing what I'm doing right now, almost 2 years, I have been a fan and frequent buyer and seller on eBay for 20-something years. So, I just want to let y'all know, this is what you can do too. I do online auctions, okay? And I'm not going to share any of those auctions because, hey, I'm a reseller. I don't want anybody to take away my bidding. But I have some great auction houses that I bid from with very low starting bids, usually very low ending bids, and I have to deal with shipping. Some of them are large art pieces, paintings, quite expensive, but when I show you these numbers, you're going to understand why I do what I do. Okay, we're going to start on early December. I'm just going to go through this list. Let me, if I look down. Okay, remember, this is $40 a month, nothing less. So the first thing is a Fitz & Floyd vintage pear set, and it had a gigantic pear about this big. It's just a pear. There was a large baking dish, rectangular baking dish, a spoon rest, a salt and pepper shaker with a little leaf holder underneath it, and they were all pear themed, and then some plates and bowls. I got that at a garage sale a very long time ago for like $10 for everything, and I was tired of holding on to it because it took a lot of space, so I just took it on for $40. I think I had it listed for probably 80 something, but again, I don't have to deal with that being in my inventory room. Okay, the second thing is a vintage Capa de Monte two-handled vase. I believe it was about 10 to 12 inches. I sold that for $50, and I will not buy Capa de Monte unless there's no damage or minimal damage on the roses, because we all see that. People don't want that. So I have been very lucky in finding nice Capa de Monte pieces that are in excellent, if not very good condition, considering the age and how easily those roses chip. So that vase went for $50. And this is going back from December, and we're going to current. Okay. Next is an antique Monarch Germany 3-piece marble brass crystal serving set. So there was a large crystal bowl, and it had those little crystals, real glass crystals hanging down with a big brass and marble base, and then 2 candle holders that went with it. Beautiful antique. Sold that for $90. Next is a vintage Murano gold-flecked angel figurine, and she was a beautiful, beautiful an ocean blue with gold flecks in her with the halo. Beautiful condition. And I apologize, I don't remember what I paid for any of this stuff because of my ADHD, and I'm not that organized. So that sold for $90. Oh wait, not the angel, excuse me. The Murano sold for $52. She was beautiful. Okay, next is 2 vintage Tokuri Japanese stoneware vases. They were not identical. One was a little bit shorter, and then one was a little bit taller. One was squattier, and then one was taller. For $40. And I do all my research on all this stuff, so I would never put anything out there, never, on my eBay store in the title with a question mark, because I won't even list it until I know exactly what I'm selling. Because if it's something that's way higher value, I'm not going to put a question mark, okay, and have someone that really knows what it is come and lowball me on an offer, and I'm like screwed. So no, you won't see a question mark in my titles. At least I don't think there's any. I have 500 some titles. Okay, so next is, this was a great find. This was from an online auction. It's an antique, very rare Edda, EDDA of Austria, and it was an 18-inch amphora Art Nouveau vase, and it was like a, what do they call it? It had buttresses and a bunch of grapes, like big relief grapes on it, and there was some damage. Actually, the very bottom of it, 18 inches, the very bottom underneath side had a hole, like a circle, like maybe they placed rocks in it or maybe water over the years, and it sold for $369. Yes, and I paid, I don't know what I paid, but I'm going to say I didn't pay more than $30, okay, plus shipping. $369 because it is such a rare and it's gorgeous, and I can't wait to upgrade my YouTube so that I can show you all this stuff because they're so pretty. Sorry, I gotta turn the page. Okay, next is a vintage, another Capodimonte piece. This one was a large centerpiece, you know, round on a bowl, and had all the roses on top. Very, very good condition considering the 1940s age, and the roses chipped, a few small chips on the roses. Sold that for $47. Next is a Barbini Murano light pink, kind of textured, ball texture, with gold flecks. Very mid-century modern table lighter, like what you would see like in your grandparents' house, and they actually would, you know, light their cigarettes or whatever, their cigars with those. It did not work. 1940s, 50s, but gorgeous Murano glass, sold for $50. Okay, if y'all have watched my videos, which a lot of you haven't, because I don't have a lot of followers, but I do have some watchers, so views on my videos. So if you like this, please subscribe, because I am going to be a wealth of knowledge in the future, because I love research. I have a minor in art history from the University of Texas, Horns, and a major in journalism and public relations. So I love research, I love art, I love history, I love antiques. Okay, so sometimes when I cannot find the exact value on things, I will schedule a call with Dr. Lori B. And she is quite famous. She has a YouTube channel. You need to subscribe. She is matter of fact, to the point, and one of the smartest people I have ever seen. And she knows everything there is about antiques and art history. She was a professor, curator of a museum. She has been appraising items for more than 20 years. She's featured on TV shows. She does shows all around the world. She's amazing. And you can do a live FaceTime call with her. I mean, you have to pay for it, but it's very reasonable. So I got these 3 bronze, very old antique bronze statues, and I paid $50 each for them from a local auction. They're very heavy, so I didn't have to pay shipping on them. So $150 for 3 bronzes, and I wanted to get her appraisal because I didn't know what they were worth. I had $150 invested in all 3 of them. So this is one of the items she appraised of the 3 bronzes. One of them was appraised between $400 and $500, and I'll get to that in a minute because that sold too. This one was appraised between $300 and $400, and the one that I am not going to sell for less than $900, she appraised between $1,250 and $1,500. So that I will hold on to and not sell for less than $900. So the ones that were $300 to $400 and $400 to $500. This is one of them. This is the lowest end. It's called the Struggling Man bronze. And he was like, oh, like he was like exercising or something. Very, very, very good condition. These are antiques. A lot of them reproductions made after the bronzes in the BC period. So these are still antiques because they were made in the 1800s. Anyway, it was called Struggling Bronze. She appraised it at $300 to $400. I took it off for a $160 because, again, I'm only paying $50, no shipping. Yeah, I promote all my items, so I kind of got a lot taken from that. But I will continue to promote my items unless for some reason, I don't know, I decided not to promote them anymore. I don't know. I don't like paying all that extra, but and they've raised them up. I love eBay, but I mean, it used to be like 3 to 5%. Now it's like at least 11% for every single item. Okay, $160. Okay, next is an antique Gone with the Wind, hand-painted porcelain and brass lamp with hand-painted pansies on it. Parlor lamp, beautiful. I don't know how much I paid, again, but it sold for $67. And I'm sure I didn't pay more than like 12 to 15 on online auction plus shipping. So we are now halfway through the 20 items that I'm going to keep just since January. And I'm going to tell you at the end of this how my 90-day total, what it has increased to just in 2 months. Because this change of, you know, I'm not going to go and find little trinkets, this and that and the other that I can sell for, $15, $20, $30, $40. Okay, number 11 is a vintage Seraphim Classics Heaven on Earth series Liberty Angel. And she's holding a big flag, and it's a big statue. It was in the original styrofoam, the original box. Not brand new because the box had a little bit of damage. The statue was in fabulous condition. Sold that for $80. And I did the research, so I didn't list that as high because there'll be another Seraphim coming up. Actually, the last thing that I had listed for a lot higher because the values of solds were a lot higher. Moving on, a vintage 1984 Robert Eichholt. If you watch The Crazy Landlady, you are familiar with that name. He's a glass designer. It's a dichroic, hand-blown art glass egg. Absolutely stunning. Egg or paperweight. Good weight, good size, maybe about 4 to 5 inches in height. $54 sold for. And I know that I paid $10 in an auction. It was actually in Dallas, and my father-in-law lives in Dallas and brought it to me along with the painting that I got because I didn't want to pay shipping. The painting was actually $400. It's a gift for my daughter for her engagement. We just gave it to her yesterday. And I don't really know if she likes it, but it's gorgeous. Bottom line is $54 on something I paid maybe $10, $15. Okay, next is a vintage blue and white chinoiserie moon vase. Double-handled moon vase. Kind of looks like a willow pattern. Sold that for $48 online auction. Next is, this was from the local auction house here in San Antonio. Share that, but I mean, I would love to promote them, but you know, hey, I get good deals from there. It was huge. It's a C.S. Moore studio numbered Conan the Conqueror faux bronze large statue in the box in the styrofoam. Humongous. Anyway, it sold for $150. I did pay $50, but again, no shipping, so hey, except my fees. You know, it's not a bad profit. And it was huge, huge, taking up so much room. So I was like, I'm just glad to see it go, but it took me about 2 hours to pack it up. Okay, next is a vintage Kanawha deep blue art glass swung edge pedestal vase with the moon and stars pattern. Beautiful, about 10 inches height, $40. Next is a vintage signed and marked, Marc Chagall, 1955, signed Marc Chagall, framed lithograph. And this was appraised by Dr. Lori for $650. So Marc Chagall started doing paintings in the 1930s, hence my background in art history and my researching skills. Started doing lithography in the 50s, where essentially he will sign and date these lithographs, but add some of his personal touches. So $400. I think I paid $20 in an online auction plus shipping, which would probably be, let's say, $40 to $60. $400 plus shipping. All these are plus shipping. So none of these numbers are including shipping. Not bad. Okay, just 4 more like this big. He was like 15 inches. I found him at an auction, not an auction, an antique store near me a while back. I remember paying $13 for him, and I just saw Entrada Italy on the back. I didn't know what Entrada meant, but anything Italy. It was ceramic, and it's a boxer dog. Huge, like 15 inches. Hand painted. Sweetest look on his face. Beautiful. He sold for $59. Next, these next three are all pretty good. This was something I paid $20 for in an online auction. The shipping probably would have been about $20, $25, so let's say $45. An antique French, and I'm going to butcher this name because I took Spanish because I live in San Antonio, and I don't need French, but Sarah Guimines, France, and it's signed from the early 1900s. It's an Art Nouveau base, and it's absolutely stunning. I wish I had it still to show you. I can't even describe the detail on it, but someone recognized the value and quality of this piece and paid $200 for it. Again, I probably paid $45 total with shipping. $200. Okay, next is another of the bronze that I said I would mention. This is another one that was appraised by Dr. Lori. This is one of the ones that was appraised between $400 and $500. I took an offer of $170. Again, I paid $50 without shipping from my local auction. And this one is very tall. He's holding something, and he had a couple fingers broken, and some of the marble base had a little bit of damage to the front of it. Anyway, it's called Vox Passis. I guess that's Latin, which means prayer for peace. It's a bronze man sculpture holding up something in the air. I don't know. Sold for, well, I accepted an offer of $170. So, again, people like bronze. Wow. Very old, very old. Okay, and finally, this is what I sold, I believe yesterday. The other Seraphim Classics in the box. And I got these both from an online auction, so I know I paid up for shipping on these, but I think I paid $20 and $30. Let's just say a total of $100 for both of them with shipping. And so the first one sold for $80 because I looked it up, and that was lower than the value, but I took an offer because this woman was really sweet. So $100 for both of them. Let's see, $80 for that one. I don't know, but anyway, the Michael Guardian of Peace limited edition angel statue in the box in styrofoam, and this one was more desirable and worth more on Point and eBay sold, etc. Sold for $248 yesterday plus shipping. So I don't want to add these numbers up right now, but I just gave you 20 items, and that is not everything that is sold in the last 2 months. That is everything $40 and up. And you see a lot of those numbers are above $100. So I guess this is what's real, and this is how you can do it too. I was happy with, I don't know, $2,400 to $3,700 every 90 days. That is not including shipping or eBay fees or the cost of my materials, etc. The time it takes me to, the extreme long time it takes me to pack. I'm a very meticulous anal packer, excuse me. But yes, so I was happy with that, but the money that I did get, I would always just spend and source for my store. Not necessarily in the way I do now, but I was spending a lot on shipping, so now I'm more aware of that. So just to give you an example of how my store has increased its sales. So it went from maybe, like I said, $2,200 to $3,400. I think that was average for the first year and a half I did my store. In the last 2 months, I've been at over $6,200. And that may sound like not that much for 90 days, but like I said, I do this part-time. I make my own schedule. I enjoy it. I have a lot of kids, 6 buses, and I'm able to start saving for the wedding. So just know that before you put something on eBay title, to find the markings, to know the history, and you might have to pay for shipping unless you're local to their area, but I am not kidding you, it is so worth it. I mean, basically, my eBay store is almost doubled. Yeah, would I love to get to the $10,000 mark? That's still not probably even minimum wage in 90 days, but hey, if I can give my daughter $500-600 a month to save for her wedding, which is in a year and 3 months, that's a lot that adds up. So, thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe, share. I mean, I am going to be knowledgeable because I'd like to share with people out there that are just tired of everyday run-of-the-mill items and how you can step it up too and increase your store, because my daughter got engaged in December, and in 2 months I have almost doubled my sales, and I'm selling high dollar items. So you have enough motivation, you can get it done. And that's why I would like you to subscribe, like, leave comments, because I can give you information as far as what I know or even research things for you. And also, the dollar amount right there is just an excuse enough. You know, I'm not going to be shopping at garage sales or rummage sales, but I am going to upgrade my channel, as I said, and so I will be able to show you pictures of things that I have sold. So thank you so much. If you're watching this, happy Super Bowl. Go Chiefs. You know what? I could care less who wins or loses, but I'm not a Niners fan, so Cowboys fan and Chiefs. I've always been a Chiefs fan. So again, no bandwagon here. I'm wearing the red. Yeah, it's a little much for the Super Bowl, but I can't find my jersey. Go Travis. Shout out to Taylor. And y'all have a great night. Thank you, and we'll see you soon with some more